I want to pick up a little bit tonight where Randall was this morning with his lesson. And zero in on a point that I think is really important for us. And he alluded to it a little bit, and so I got to thinking about that this afternoon, and I think it ties in pretty well with what we're going to be doing when we're finished in here in a few minutes. The primary thing that we want to accomplish with our one time is really summed up in one word: encouragement. And if it's been a while since you have thought about what one time is, that's the acronym for operating in encouragement. So the primary force behind us getting together in our teams is to enhance that a little bit. We meet together in here, a big room, and people are scattered in lots of different places, and it's real easy for the people on the right side of the room not to really ever make contact with the people on the left, and vice versa. So one of the things that we wanted to try to accomplish was to get folks together that didn't normally get together, and build on an encouraging relationship. Randall mentioned this morning from the book of Hebrews that the primary reason that book was written, and there were some folks there who had converted to Christianity, and life wasn't so good. And in fact, it was hard. And they were persecuted for their beliefs. And that makes it really easy to want to quit. And so that's what some of them were doing, and some of them were in danger of doing. So that book is written to encourage them. And that's really what the main message of Hebrews is about. We're not necessarily in a situation today here where people are persecuting us for what we believe or for what we've converted to. So our world's a little different than the first century world of the Jews who were converting to Christianity. But one way that it's not different is we all need encouragement. We need encouragement whether things are going really, really good for us, and obviously we need encouragement when we feel like things aren't going so well for us. And so the thought and the idea of encouragement really is never wasted. You can't really encourage somebody that's not going to get some benefit from it. And I think the writer of Hebrews understood that fact as well or better than anybody. That an association together of a group of people with a common belief in the midst of a really chaotic, persecutory world that they were living in has great benefits. Paul told the church at Thessalonica, he said, comfort one another. Comfort's the same word for encourage, same thought, same idea. Comfort one another. He also made the statement to comfort those that are faint-hearted. So those who are struggling, those who aren't sure, those who are confused, back in the day of the book of Hebrews, those who were scared, those who were feeling beaten up by the world. And those same words obviously had really direct meaning for those folks, but just like Randall mentioned this morning, those words have just as much meaning and effect for you and me. So what we do with our one time is a way to enhance the way we encourage each other. You know, the people that have it all together and don't seem to have any problems or any issues that are bothering them, still need encouragement. And I think about that in the way of a sports team. Even if you play on a really good team and there's nobody in the stands, how you feel? How would you feel? Nobody cares. We're really good and we win a lot of games, but nobody cares. There's nobody in the stands to watch. So those teams that aren't facing all the adversity that comes to other teams, they still need encouragement too. And so those of you that are sitting in the audience tonight and everything's good and everything's right and everything's working, you still benefit by being here, by being encouraged. Those of you that everything's not right, there's something going on, whatever it may be, obviously you getting great gain from being here. And I'm afraid a lot of times we underestimate just how much our presence together, what that brings. In the book of Hebrews, chapter 3, the writer made this comment in verse 13. Exhort one another daily. Every day. Exhort. Encourage. Build up. Look out for the best in your family. And then the verse that we all know and use routinely is in Hebrews 10:25. But just as important a verse is the verse right before that, verse 24. And we'll use verse 25 to make sure everybody knows you shouldn't miss church services. And you shouldn't. We shouldn't. But there's more, I think there's more to what the writer's saying here than here's something you got to do. You got to go to church. There's just more to it than that. Verse 24, the writer says, "Let us consider one another for this reason, to stir up love and good works." So the goal of encouragement is to stir up good things. Good things in your life, good things in my life. To stir up the bond that's between us, the bond of love that we have. And to stir up happenings, things that happen, things that you're going to go and do tomorrow, things that you're going to say tomorrow, behavior that you're going to exhibit tomorrow. When we get together in this particular forum, and then when we get together in our smaller teams, that's what we are getting. We are stirring each other up to do those things. Throughout the New Testament, Jesus especially talked about it, but Paul reinforced it even more. Our behavior is very important. Our behavior shows who we are. There is an expected change in behavior when one becomes a Christian. And so our behavior tomorrow can be and should be really affected by the time we spend together today. And it's the whole idea for a Wednesday night Bible study. It's the same thing. It's the same thing. These times together help us. It's not just a rule to follow, although it is, but it's not just that. There's so much for us to be gained from that. Let us consider one another in order to stir up love and good works, not forsaking the assembling of ourselves together, as is the manner of some, but exhorting one another. A direct statement. Don't miss the times when your family's together. Now, in the days of the Jews of the first century who had converted to Christianity, it was the difference in their salvation and in their being lost. Those folks who had converted and chose not to come be with everybody, probably a high percentage of those folks went back to being Jewish and following the Jewish religion. They didn't have the wherewithal to understand, I need to be where these people are that can help me. If I really believe this, if I really believe in Christianity, I really believe that Jesus died, if I really believe that, then I need to be with other people that really believe that. Because the odds are, if you don't do that, the first thing that happens is your behavior changes. Okay, so you're not here. And I know while I'm here talking to you, the expression preaching to the choir comes to mind. You folks are here. There's a lot of folks that were here this morning that aren't. But when we choose not to be together, when we choose not to participate in an event where we try to draw just a little bit closer to each other, that's going to affect our behavior tomorrow, whether we realize that or not. So we do it one time and our behavior is not affected very much. Tomorrow will be just like any other tomorrow after a Sunday. But then we miss again. And then we miss again. And then we come back. And then we miss again. And over a period of time, your behavior on Monday is going to be different than it was a month ago. You might not think it, but I promise you it will be. It will be, because you don't have that strength and that encouragement that has been a part of the group here tonight. The cool thing is, it's not really hard. It's not. It's not hard to encourage. Being here is encouragement. When I see you, and I've made this statement before, when I see you, that's encouragement. You don't have to be up here. You don't have to be up front. You don't have to be seen by everybody. You don't have to be in some leading role of some work that's going on. You don't have to do that. But being here, just being here is important. And the power that is contained in that to keep us focused on what we're doing and who we're living for is so much easier done when we're here. When we're here, when we're together. A smile, a pat on the back, a handshake, all those things. You just can't put a value on that. And you may think, well, I'm just going to come in here and I'm just going to sit and you can do that. But even by doing that, being seen here is hugely important to a lot of people. Young people encourage old people. There's lots of things y'all could be doing tonight. You're here. That says something to me. That speaks to me. I think it speaks to your parents. It speaks to the folks that sit on this side. Hopefully the same is true for these folks in your mind. You see how important it is for them. Some of these folks, it's not so easy to get here. It can be hard. Physical abilities are not where they can just jump up and run in here like they used to, but they're still here. So let's encourage each other. Let's tell the folks who aren't here tonight, I really would like to see you here on Sunday night. It's a great source of encouragement. It'll help you. It'll help you tomorrow. Guarantee it'll help you. The Hebrews writer knew how important it was for people to be together and the dangers of not. And so he made that statement there in chapter 10. Think about each other. Provoke each other to doing good things. And don't stay away from each other. Don't try to do it by yourself. Be part of the group. Want to be here. Want to give encouragement and want to be encouraged yourself. So we're going to do that just a little bit more here in the next few minutes. We're going to divide up and head to our one teams. And I hope you'll stay for the group that you're in. And I hope that you will spend a little bit of time talking to some of those folks. I think maybe we've been together enough that we pretty much know everybody in our teams, and that's good. But it's a real boost, a shot in the arm, to have that and to be together. I appreciate you listening. Encouragement is always needed. It's needed by everybody. It's not wasted. It's not ever wasted. So let's do all we can to encourage each other as we live our life here. Times are hard sometimes, and we all need somebody to walk beside us. So let's do that for each other. We always offer an invitation at every service. Tonight's no different. If you're here and have never become a Christian, never been baptized for the forgiveness of your sins, you can do that tonight. That would be a huge source of encouragement for all of us sitting in this room. Maybe you've already done that. Maybe you need prayers. Maybe there's something wrong somewhere in your life. Maybe you just want somebody to pray for you. We can do that too. If there's any way we can help you at all, please come while we stand in our